it's kind of funny to actually watch this too, because Pycat knows Wind Ranger like the back of his hand. And he knows it very, very well. There's no missing moles on the back of his hand. He knows every single one of them. And Mushi knows the SF insanely well, as proven by game number 2. So they're basically playing up against two heroes, which they know exactly how they should be played, and now have to try and counterplay them in the mid. That mid matchup's going to be an absolute spectacular time to watch.
Yeah, it could be really bad for the SF too, because I don't think they have many ways to like their support's transition to save him is, I mean, Bane can do it okay. I guess they both have the potential, but it's not like a TP Dazzle Grave or something like that. And do you remember, was Dazzle banned out in the last phase? I wasn't really paying attention.
No, he wasn't.
I was wondering, I was thinking in the back of my head that maybe Dazzle would have been a great pick for the last one. It would have synergized with this whole negative armor theme as well, but they go with the Bane. It has really, really good lockdown for, one, the Phoenix in lane, presuming it is going to be an off lane, and I think it is. And then two, it's going to be able to lock down the Bristleback long enough to where they can actually benefit from those that negative armor attacks. So,
the reason why I was fighting like the Dazzle shouldn't be picked up is just the fact that they don't have a stunner from a support that can control the Phoenix. So sure, that's where I see the problem. Where they, even if he's not banned out, you just don't go for it.
That's just something you give and take with the hero in general, though. But yeah, that definitely is a, like I said, I think the big thing is that Bane will have the ability to push out this this Phoenix a little bit. But the only reason I bring that up is if they do get really aggressive on mid, their supports aren't as fast to react. And I feel like if you're looking at this matchup, that's the focal point, I think, is making sure that your SF doesn't get dove or something, because he's already going to have somewhat of a difficult time against Lina. He's one of the better heroes in mid. Or not Lina, but sorry, the Wind Ranger.
Admiral Bulldog battling with KOXY. He put the ball exactly on top of the rune so he can try and grab it directly after. Now the Nightmare, there is more help coming in as Pycat is going to arrive. He'll have to commit raises if he's going to find the kill on KOXY. And he won't. They drop him down by half-life. He'll munch a tango and return to the lane.
Ooh, they're going to go aggro with Phoenix. And they're going to put the Bristleback solo against the Beastmaster. Okay.
This works. The Rubik and Lina combo work with anything anyway. Mushi's not going to enjoy this mid lane at all. He can at least have one bright side, and that's the fact that Bane is currently walking around with Nightmare and not Enfeeble, except now he's got Nightmare Mushi. There's a power shot available, but that's why you're already seeing Mad salving up, walks up and evades the attack.
Yeah. At the very least, he doesn't have Enfeeble, like you said.
Loader, too far up, pick up, throw back down again. Light Striker raise perfect, so he can't get the crush off, but where is your damage? It's very underwhelming.
Their level 2 is much stronger than their level 1 for all three of these heroes. Having Fire Spirits, having an extra nuke from Lina, having an actual nuke from the Rubik, so just putting out damage, trying to get him to use as much regen as possible.
Fair enough. Want to keep my eyes closed on this top lane too. Beastmaster up against the Bristleback. Never really the easiest thing to keep your summons alive, but so far Bulldog's found 5 for 2 up against the Bristleback's 2 for 0, but that's only because he hasn't killed off the creep wave which is in front of him. And KOXY controls the aggro quite nicely, keeps it away from the tower, takes some extra damage for it, but it gives him the advantage anyway. Johnny, coming in range of Pycat, gonna pick him up. Mushi looking for nothing. He doesn't have Shackle, he's only got Wind Run as well as the power shot. So he's not going to find anything from that movement from the Rubik at all.
This little bit of annoyance, though, that the Bane applied on mid goes a long way for a hero like SF, though. It's already made it so that he's had a pretty dominating start here.
Yeah.
Which is against an otherwise really strong mid laner against the SF. And like I said, generally in almost any single matchup, if you get level 5 in SF, it's just lane is 1. There's not really much the other opponent can do.
The fact that SF also has, well, at least 1 stack prepared for him. No, he's got 2 stacks prepared for him.
That's really good.
Yeah, we're only 2 minutes in. It doesn't have to be him as well. They can be Beastmaster if they feel like Admiral Bulldog's falling behind. He's got the same amount of CS as we've seen from the SF in mid lane, and he's achieving this as an off-lane Beastmaster up against the Bristle. And KOXY in return, he still found like levels as well as his own farm, so he's got no problem. This is just an even trade lane.
Yep, Rubik trying to fake him out with an illusion, but I think he'll soon figure that out.
Mad and Ohio are playing silly buggers right now. Nightmare, however, Arcade gonna look for the stun, and he does have a follow-up, and that's gonna come from the Lightning. Ohio's already pretty damn low, and they're gonna get the first blood. It goes to Arcade, and that's the start that Alliance needed for their supports.
I think this is going extremely well for Alliance. Like, they started out with this aggro tri-lane, didn't get too much out of it. I mean, Loda even still has 7 CS, but I think the biggest thing is that Admiral Bulldog is getting a lot out of this off lane. They will try to actually make a tri-lane adjustment here, but I think it's too late. He's already got level 4, and he's got some decent farm too. SF has stacks. Everything's going right for Alliance so far in the early stages of the game.
Yeah. They just got to hold this momentum though. Like, it can easily switch around once. I would say Fnatic go in for Roshan. Like, they can get a lot of damage once it's up on Mushy, and then you got the Needs of Goose stacks from KOXY that can go to work, so you have negative armor there for themselves, but Alliance have so many ways they can scout out what's going on there and also counter-initiate. So where else do then Fnatic turn? Do they turn towards Ancient stacking for the Bristleback? Do we turn towards Radiant, to normal jungle stacking for everyone else?
They should definitely stack this, and it looks like Ohio's going to miss it. That's kind of unfortunate. That's an extra surge of gold that he could really use, especially as a 1 position, but wants to maybe get in a better position for this rune, which he's going to dive and grab it. So he denies that at least from Pycat. And actually, Pycat's missing quite a bit of CS as a result of walking towards that rune too. So,
and there's no one else moving up to tank it, because Arcade's in the neighborhood. He's going to find level 3 from just sitting close. And an Invis rune went into the bottle of Mushy. So ganking up this Wind Ranger on the mid is nowhere near as easy now.
They do have a Sentra and Ake actually. So, and they're smoked up. This could be, like, it's going to give him almost a false sense of security. He's going to think he's safe. He's going to play up maybe a little bit further than he should.
Well, they're looping around, but look where Johnny is.
Yeah, there is a Rubik sitting behind, and in fact, Ohio is even...
The Observer sees
They know that supports are gone. They know they're trying to gank mid.
Fnatic actually see the Observer ward here. They don't see Mad coming around the corner, but they see the Obs. Arcade attempting to deny it, but not going to work.
And they broke the smoke.
Yep. It was hilarious though, because with the nighttime vision, oh, nice shackle, Pycat being locked up, the follow-up stun, just going to make some space. Nothing more than that. Yeah, but with their vision, you can see it here. They've only just got vision on the top of this little bush on the riverbed, and that was exactly where the ward was placed. If it was anywhere else across that cliffside, we would never have seen it, and that would never have gone down that way.
Well, I'm sure Loda's happy about all this, because he'll be able to just actually free farm now. And this is not a hero that you want to have your farm stifled at all.
Yep. You need that Blink Dagger, and then the tankability items directly after.
Oh, missed the CS there, unfortunately, but...
Now that we start watching him, he's going to miss him.
Pressure's on. Now the catapult's hitting in an awkward area. It looks like it's supposed to hit the other catapult, but it's not. All these little things are just... can piss you off in lane.
It's upsetting the feng shui of Loda's lane. KOXY is getting to a point now where he's a lot happy. He's got Warpath stacks which can start going to work. And the Beastmaster hasn't hit level 6 yet. Doesn't have a TP scroll, so he can't come in and join the engagement. Another Icarus dive attempted to steal the bounty room from Phoenix, but they're going to fail. But again, he's missing CS. There's 4 creeps which are potentially dying in the mid for nothing. Mad comes in close so he can soak up a little bit, but the tower's taking some chip damage.
Yeah, he's got stacks, so this is huge. And the stun even to help him, because it's only level 3 raise, and he will hit level 7 after this too. Get some extra experience to Leshrac too.
Yeah, Arcade's going to hit level 4.
Oh, that's their only stack. I thought they had...
They had another one further down, but it looks like they've already farmed it.
Oh, I think the supports actually maybe farmed it. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, there's a smoke wrap around in mid. 4 heroes, actually.
They're coming for the SF. They're expecting him to be farming up this stack. They weren't expecting the camp to be so far over. And Mad's pretty close, so the smoke's going to break. And Mad, well, he's basically got a Nightmare himself. The jump's in, the Shackle's going to be there. The Bane is dead. Nightmare deny, he's going to brain zap. Nightmare, and there it is! He actually denies himself underneath the tower. Fnatic knew it was a possibility, and, well, Mad, a 3-man smoke gang gives nothing to Fnatic.
Oh, God. That could have been played so much better, but you have to hand it to him, right? So... well played by Matt, and a lot of time wasted from both teams actually from smoking. So mid lane is just like off limits. This just cannot be ganked. And SF isn't even really mid anymore as he's just taking the jungle.
He's having a great time. At least Mushy's going to scan him out with a power shot, and Pycat's like, oh, okay, fine, I'll come back into the middle lane and we'll battle for your soul. He's getting so much CS. The Necromastery. Like 29 souls, he's already capped on that one. He's about to hit level 8 too. No Requiem up. But it's all about the lane presence. It's all about mopping up the stacks as quick as he can.
I think this actually is a mech game. I don't know what Pycat usually does. I don't normally see him play this, but looking at the heroes of Fnatic, I think this is a mech game, just because they have some kind of burst, they have some good damage over time that's in AoE too, and so you're going to get the full effectiveness out of your mech. I think this is a team you can actually push because you have extra vision from the Hawk as well. So we'll see what he goes for, but I do think that mech would be pretty good this game.
I'm not against it at all. As long as they group up, I'm fine with it. And actually, he's going to finish his Ring of Aquila to start with. So if he is going to go for the mech, it's coming a little bit later on. Loda, however, has finished his Vanguard to start. So he didn't go directly into the Blink Dagger. He went for the Vanguard instead. So very, very tanky, and it must be like Alliance just feel like they've got so much time in the world just to continue to farm, because without the Blink Dagger, Loda really isn't what he wants to be during the fights. He's tanky, but he wants to be tanky and have the ability to jump initiate.
Yeah, I think Alliance are okay taking this late. Like, their negative armor is extremely high. They can transition the Leshrac like they did in Game 1, which worked out nicely. The vision from the Hawk is never going to be unaffected. Like, it's always going to be super important. And that will never go away. Fnatic, obviously, the thing about Wind Ranger is just really funny is that no matter what, if you get a good Shackle, especially with Ags and Crit, you can kill a hero from full to nothing, just in the duration of a Shackle. Oh, that was close.
You can see it coming. Like, Arcane
really
knew he couldn't get in range to attack directly into the Phoenix, but with the amplification, he could bounce the lightning, which would give time for Slada to sprint himself in and go for the crush. That was the goal there.
There's another smoke coming out from the two supports of Fnatic, trying to wrap all the way around on an Admiral Bulldog. This is pretty much the only way to kill him, just because the Hawk is doing a good job about scouting things out. But again, this could be a false sense of security. He thinks that no one's there. And I think this is their opening. He's trying to actually micro his other thing, so might die here.
Well, pick up, throw it down. He throws the slow out, but Admiral Bulldog escaping from this is pretty difficult, so he just throws the axes. Johnny takes a considerable amount of damage. But they got salves available. They'll heal back up again, look to actually do some damage to this tier 1 on top. And Mushi's coming up to ensure it. He's got Focus Fire and double damage rune. They want this tier 1 tower dead.
Oh, and this could be a dead Leshrac too.
Yeah, Arcane's already TP'd in. Mushi, he's on the tree line. The Shackle moved out far enough. The stun will come in, but with a double damage and Focus Fire, you are not surviving through that.
Really nice rotation from Mushi. And they don't have any vision of that area, so that's really big. Really nice swing of things here. I mean, the SF is still very, very farmed. Yeah, Nia's going to go for mech. I like this decision.
Well, we'll see if they can push with it. Supernova is now up for Ohio, so team fight stability from Fnatic is also looking brilliant. So both the mechs should arrive in at the same time on both the Bristleback as well as the Shadow Fiend. And what's Selena up to? Okay, so they're about to stack up in the camps.
I just watched Loda forever, like I just talked about before last game out. Sometimes there's an inevitable situation where you cannot get a CS, and I can just see it from start to finish. I'm like, he knows it, I know it, it's a terrible feeling and he couldn't get it, but just the little things sometimes, do it for you.
He's slightly sadistic.
I can feel his pain, that's all I'm saying. Oh, Johnny found the bird. Nice. He fade bolts it right near Roche and gets the kill on the bird. Actually, 60 gold is not bad for it either. Any little CS you can muster up is good.
And Mushi's really playing for the late game. He goes for a hand of Midas on this Wind Ranger.
Damn.
You would say it's for the attack speed, but you got Focus Fire.
Yeah, definitely not for the attack speed.
Yeah. So it's all about the experience. It's all about the money, and it's all about the kills. Mushi with that Midas doesn't make himself a very tanky target, or a target that can easily escape the roar from Admiral Bulldog. Ooh. Okay, well, he's got Wind Run. He is quick on the toes.
If he had Tranquils, he definitely gets that kill. That extra little bit of movement speed would have helped him, but
he's going for Necron.
Not to say
straight. Oh, nice Shackle. Wow. Using the boar to hitting Mad, but the power shot misses and only connected on the boar and not on the hero.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Meanwhile, KOXY is having fun. Loda just wants to push him back again, get back to that farm. He's got units to bash, farm to be had, and Nasal Crew to be applied to himself. But Alliance are reading this nicely. They keep the pressure on mid, which is pulling Fnatic's extra players off the bottom lane, and then Mad soaking up the experience on the top lane. Fnatic don't want to do anything about it, but it's giving him his level 6. So the Fiend's Grip will be available a lot early because this nice double stun from Arcane, combining up with the lightning. And the mid tower's taking a decent amount of damage.
The bottom tower is not taking too much damage either, and it's going to be a mech also for the Bristleback. Something you don't see too much anymore, with a couple of different reasons. They did kind of they rebuffed a little bit of the mana cost, and they heavily nerfed the cooldown. So I think it's a little bit questionable, but he does have more mana to support now because he did go for the bottle, so at least he's got that. But I don't know, I feel like that long cooldown, it really signifies that it just seems so much more worth it when you go for the Greaves now. And definitely you don't want to go for Greaves on Bristleback. He's already bought his treads. That would seem like a complete waste of gold. So yeah. Although I have seen it before. Korok actually did it in the NA qualifiers and it worked out well.
Well, it's working out well for KOX. Want to take out this bottom tower, and well, they're going to try and stop him. Here comes your TP in from Pycat. Now the tower's within deny range, and KOXY knows this too. But if he sticks around any longer, he'll risk his own death, and that's just not worth it. So tier 1 tower will be denied. Alliance can still group up and try and take the tier 1 tower back if they're really feeling like they want to go tit for tat.
I find it interesting that Loda's not going to go for treads before Blink, unless he's doing something different, like rushing, I don't know, Crimson Guard before Blink. But that would seem kind of strange. That would make very little sense. Treads is just so cost efficient, and it's on a hero that can definitely benefit from the attack speed. I find it a little interesting, but we'll see. We'll see how it pans out. Yeah, he will have it in 400, or the Blink in 400 gold, if that's what he's going for.
Yeah, with this much money, it's going to be Blink. Amplifies to try and kill off one of the catapults, but she can't find a shackle shot angle on Loda. Has the Observer Ward down, but at the same time, so did the Radiant side. So they currently see Ohio as well as Kijik. But they do not see Mushi.
I feel like Loda saw a clip of him go fade from Invis. Like, otherwise there was... I don't think he'd be so scared.
The sentries down. Yeah. Feed script straight away. Light Strike Array's going to cancel this, but how quickly actually? No, he doesn't. They already find the kill. Laguna Blade does almost no damage. They've taken out 2. Nightmare onto the 3rd, and Luna's right behind him. The Split Earth's trying to help him out. KOXY arrives. He triggers the mech, but to little avail. This will be a 3-hero kill for Alliance and the tier 1 tower for no trade-off. Like, it wasn't even a side tower that got lost.
That's so big. Look at that graph too. It's just a complete steep uphill climb.
Is this when they can go for Roshan too? You got 3. No, you still got Supernova up. It's no.
Their spells are down. Their Fiend Script's down. Their Roar is down. They can go for it later. They can, anytime they have any spell up, they can even smoke into it and kill it in a matter of seconds, just with their arsenal of things that they have. SF now has the mech. Didn't even need to use it. Didn't have the mana for it either, but didn't have to use it. And I think this is a fine mech Scotty game, if that's what he wants.
Icat's also holding onto a large amount of money. Like, we could assume a BKB is his item of choice here. He's got 2.8k gold. But where do we go? Like, he's next to Secret Shop, he's not buying up anything, so...
Probably a BKB.
Yeah, it looks like a BKB. Ohio's about to come in from behind, and this is Alliance defending a tier 1 tower, but they want to jump as quickly as they can, but killing up the Bristleback's not going to be great when everyone else is right behind him. They start to KOXY, the big shackle from Mushi, holding Loda and Pycat in position. Everyone Bulldog at least keeps Mushi back in a first hit bash from Loda. The Nova will still trigger out, but Mao was protected by his Nightmare. Again, this Laguna Blade having minimal effect, but the burn, it can't kill Mad. 18 life, he's sitting in the tree line, and it's a 2-for-1 trade-off at the moment. Johnny's still amplified up. They lost the Beastmaster, they lost the Slaughter, but considering where Fnatic were coming from at the time they were, I don't know, I think Alliance should count their lucky stars.
Yeah, Matt's playing really well this game too. Like, there's the constant sleeps at the right time to save himself or save other people. Using Fiend Scrim when he needs to. I don't think it was up in that fight, I think it just came off cooldown, so... But yeah, I don't think it was that disastrous for Alliance. Obviously it was a 1-for-2, but I think losing a Bristleback is a little bit bigger of a deal than losing a Slardar, at least at this stage of the game. And yeah, I don't know, I feel like, yeah, Bristleback, he's 2-1-1, 87 CS, has a mech, but I just don't, I don't know. We'll see how this transitions.
You don't feel the sustainability from him?
No, I don't. I mean, he just dies so fast. I mean, I'm pretty sure they picked Slardar in... right after Bristleback, and that's a good hero against him in general. He's not going to feel as tanky as he normally would.
He's going to get even sadder too once that Beastmaster comes up, because it's the fact he went for the mech, but...
That's a good point.
Like, you're burning 225 mana just for the mech. So you want, and bottle charges is basically all that's really keeping you up. But if you actually come in with the Necro units and burn off all of his mana, there's nothing left. So you might use your 1 charge and your bottle charges, you'll get the mech off for the team, but you've got no damage, and without the wall pass stacks, you're not really a Bristleback. You're a guy that can tank up a little bit, but you have no damage and you got no return damage when they attack on you. So that's where my concern comes in for Fnatic.
Yeah, and he won't have mana to spam out his quills or anything else after that point, too, if he's saving for the mana.
KOXY load up. Is it worth the blink up? He does blink, but he actually goes for Mushy. The Hawk gave him the vision of that one, and they nightmare up KOXY. Might almost be worth the Phoenix grip too. Mushy, he does go down. In comes the Phoenix. No Nova being used. He does have it available, and did throw in the middle of the fight. Johnny, he just split Earth down. KOXY, Phoenix grip on him, and he's fighting directly towards him. The Requiem will pop him. 3 heroes down, 4 heroes down. Alliance are rampaging through this, and they will celebrate a toasted ale on top of Roshan's corpse.
Yeah, this is getting out of control now. And talking about, you know, perhaps maybe transitioning that Leshrac in the late game with him getting a triple kill right there, being 6-1. That's definitely in the works for him. Aegis goes to Pycat. He still has a full S&Y. He still has to sell something, so he has a full S&Y after that fight. Didn't use any piece of it in the midst of it. And again, like I just talked about, this time I didn't have the Caster's Curse. So just talking up Mad, but just a really nice time to use that ultimate there.
What a great like choice as well.
Yeah.
Like it was the fact that you came up and then you nightmare on the Bristol, but you just leave him alone. Like why fight the Bristol at the start of the engagement?
Right.
It made no sense to.
And they blew up Mushi so fast too. The roar came out at the nice time. It was a nice roar that I think previously got stolen by Rubik onto Slardar, but Slardar already initiated. And because he went for the tanky build, it's not very easy to kill him.
And it's gonna be even harder now. Level 2 Necro books are done. As you said, that full S&Y up for the Shadow Fiend. So Pycat getting all the swag on that SF. They already got 1,200 gold again. The Flash Farm, he's actually going to crack 10k net worth before the 20-minute mark here.
Yep.
He's going to be very, very happy with this situation. What are we actually looking at as far as his gold per minute? So just shy of, now it's just over 540 gold per minute.
And he attacks pretty quick too. If he went for the BKB, there's no chance of that egg ever getting off, which is kind of scary. Not to mention the extra aura that, and he did max it. He secondary maxed the aura of Inner Beast from Beastmaster. So that egg is going to have some problems. And is he even, no, he's not even level 11.
It's troublesome. It's troublesome is what it is. I'm also looking at Matt, who's now about to get like a casual cloak on this Bane. So the magical damage, which Lina, like, that was the other funny thing too. With 3 or 4 of these fights, the Lina focused on Matt at the very, very start. Like, he Laguna bladed towards the Bane to try and kill him off, and every time it was ineffective. Because he had no follow-up. It was Laguna and that was all, and you're not going to kill a Bane with just that. In fact, Bane will just use Brain Sap and probably repair half of the damage.
Yeah, I mean, obviously killing the Bane at the very start of a fight would be great, but they're not doing it, so they need to call out their targets maybe a little bit better. It looks like they want to defend this. There is a TP from KYXY. I'm still not sold by this mech from him, and even just the glaring problems that you mentioned.
They're going to find Ohio. Matt's going to get in range to get the Nightmare, but they actually don't have initiation. Johnny and Ohio really hug the wall of their base. But while you got the Aegis, the Immortal, and the Vision advantage, because you got the Observer Ward up and it's 9 PM. So Fnatic don't see anything in Dota 2 time, and KOXY, they're able to get that crush on him with the amplification, getting in front with the Split Earth. They can keep this up, but no Requiem. KOXY will survive. The Shackles overloaded, but Mushy also being controlled. Pycat will drop down, but Aegis Immortal will bring it back up. Mushy has nothing. Mad just stands his ground. Finally, he'll get stunned up, but already Mushy on the sideline. Fnatic are retreating. Ohio will dive himself away to save it. Luna, huge double crush. They're going to go for more. Pycat gets the double kill. KYXY, it's a triple kill for the Shadow Fiend of Alliance. And they can even take tier 3 tower. The Necro books are up and they're ready to go. Even the BKB, a fresh one, is born. Oh my, Fnatic are in so much trouble.
Really quick decision making from Maverick Bulldog, just using the roar on the other target that they were trying to not focus, which was the Rin Ranger. Couldn't really do anything for Mushi, or Mushi couldn't really do anything in that fight. And then just the nature of the frickin' hero Leshrac, man. Even with that egg being popped, all his spells were still out of range, so he was still able to finish off the hero. Both the Split Earth and the Lightning at the very, very end. Killing the hero that was gripped. I can't remember. I think it was the Bristle.
It was Mushy. It was the Wind Ranger.
Yeah. And just the last bit of damage, and he caught it through the egg, even expiring and stunning everyone else. But the huge range of that Lightning The Lightning Storm was pretty impressive. And he's got a BKB. This Leshrac has a BKB at 22 minutes.
He's only a support Leshrac, but this is now 2 games in a row that Alliance have managed to achieve the same thing on the same hero.
He's 7-1.
But it's just also differently. He's 7-1-4. Holy, yeah, that's a lot.
It's a BKB on Shadow Fiend now too. He's got 14k net worth.
He bought that before they even took the racks, so that's why he's got the extra 1300 up his sleeve.
This is, oh boy, this is looking really bad for Fnatic.
This is out of control, is what it is. 23 minutes, you got a 13,000 gold advantage, your experience is roughly 11,000. And what do you look really in return? You got an Aghanim set to now on the Wind Ranger. That's not bad, but there's no damage to go with it. You're not looking at a Maelstrom Aghanims, it's just a bare Aghanim, so no upgrade damage. I almost feel like Mushi's only choice is to get into the Maelstrom and Desolator, or one of the two, and just try and win that way. Slip yourself in, take out Roshan when he respawns.
Yeah, I'm also not. I'm not entirely sold by the Midas either, because if you went and instead put some extra gold into an early Ags and not gone for the Midas, yes, you wouldn't have farmed faster in the grand scheme of things, but you would have been able to fight a little bit early. And since they bought a mech on KYXY, that kind of signifies wanting to fight early, so you'd get more benefit out of buying from more stat items and more HP items. So that's just a little bit of a curious interaction between the two choices of items being bought by both KYXY and Mushi. Lotus Orb. Whoa, that is one of the earliest Lotus Orbs on a losing team I've ever seen.
The 24-minute Lotus Orb Phoenix.
They want to roar back the Beastmaster, I suppose.
Does the Lotus Orb effect remain after you trigger Nova?
After you trigger Nova?
So if you jump in and you go Lotus Orb Nova, can you actually stop Phoenix from getting his Nova off? Like, how does that mechanic work?
I don't know. This is still a fresh item for a lot of us. It's so crazy sometimes, but
it was only created a couple of weeks ago, so yeah, I don't know myself. Hence the question mark. But something for people at home to check out. See what happens. Maybe we found ourselves the next level Phoenix play with the Lotus Orb Rush from Ohio.
There you go.
But your tier 2 tower is going to get dropped pretty quickly. KOXY is having some fun at the mid, and he's actually in a little bit of trouble. Glimmercade is being used by Bane to get himself in a range, and Loda, there's your crush, into the Fiend's grip, and he's battling directly into the face of KOXY. No bristleback effect to come in, amplification is still there, Roar as well, again back in the front lines, and then the Necro units, they team up, and that bristleback cannot survive for long.
I don't know if he really needed to use Necro, but maybe they can at least get a tier 2 out of this. So, I mean, he's quite tanky, but he doesn't, even in team fights, if they just, like that, they use all those spells because he was outside of his base and he wasn't near his team. But in actual team fights, that's going to be all on Mushi, or that's going to be on supports, and they can only use half of that because they're not nearly as tanky. And they can just ignore Bristle because he's just not a damage dealer with the amount of farm that he has. Like, yes, they will use those abilities then, but they don't even have to in actual team fights.
Yeah, they come up for the tier 3 tower. Necro unit's going to keel over, however, so they don't have them available. It's just some chip damage into the tier 3 tower and force any straggling Fnatic players to come back to defend their base. And that allows Alliance to have more control over the map. Roshan has potential spawn time in 50 seconds, so we've got to keep our eyes closely on that counter. And also watch where Fnatic move from here, because Fnatic may be feeling backed into a corner. The only thing they may feel like they can do is move out, smoke, and try and find a quick pickoff. But I'm not seeing smoke on either of their heroes, and they do have one available. They can purchase one.
I wonder what Pycat wants too. The whole shop is his oyster. He can really buy anything he wants. He could go for Octarine Core if he wants to, honestly.
Dagon, would you go for that, or would you? I would look towards the butterfly.
Oh, I'm just throwing it right I don't think that he would actually seriously go for it, but I'm just trying to get the point across that he could probably buy whatever he wants, and it doesn't matter.
All right.
That being said, Octarine Core is an item, man. Let's see this. What kind of raises would you have? Like 7.5 second raise or something? Yeah. And then you could have lower BKB, mech. Your ulti would be like, what, 70-something seconds? Alright, anyway, forget about that.
It's not bad. It's just not terrific.
It's my favorite item, man.
It's definitely fun. It keeps the battle going.
That's right.
So, Alliance, do they feel like they can end this? You don't have an Aegis the Immortal, but you do have double Blink Daggers on Slander as well as Beastmaster. You got
Roche.
Insanely farmed up SF. Wow, that was a really quick spawn time.
Yeah, it was like an instant respawn time.
And they just got a Vladimir's offering over on the Beastmaster. And Alliance actually scattered that almost instantly. So you got Vladimir's offering, which is flying in. And you got amplification. They need something else to trigger, and that's what the lightning's for. Amplification down. Fnatic will be too late to this. They actually can't come out and reach them in time. So this road shot belongs to Alliance.
The scary thing is, like, the lanes are not even pushing well for Fnatic. The middle lane, they just pushed out near their tier 3. Bottom lane is pushing out in favor of Alliance. The only thing they have maybe going is top, but that's not even pushed out at all for them. They have super creeps, or whatever you call them, to actually help them out naturally.
They are called super creeps.
Super creeps? I was never sure if it was mega or super.
You have super creeps on the first one and mega creeps when they all go down.
There you go.
Originally, I used to call them super creep, mega creeps and supersize me creeps.
Supersize me.
Because they were...
Because that's when the movie came out?
Yeah, it was actually exactly the same time as when I made up that kind of term. And then Valve turned it on its head, so there's super creeps and then the mega creeps.
Yep.
Alright, so the push in middle lane. Picats on the front lines, they've still got that little catapult in the front, but they're going to lose it in a moment. The Hawks moving into a nice position to try and keep the vision over on Fnatic, but actually they would have seen it move in. They definitely saw that move in.
It's an MKB for the Shadow Friend. So no, and that's actually that's really good against the Wind Ranger. So no shenanigans of Windrun are going to get him away from that damage output.
Yeah, they sentry ward down for Fnatic. They actually don't see the Hawk. That Hawk is hidden by this tree right here. And now they send in a second one, and that's going to reveal out the first one. So obviously birds should not fly together. They are not ducks.
Dire's bottom tower.
Yep, but they can slow siege this. They still have the Aegis.
That's so easy. Pycat does that much damage.
Yeah, that's true.
He's just tearing apart the melee. They said in the Necro units too. KOXY is going to be careful with this because again, mana's burning out. The shackle won't latch from Mushi, and KOXY is bone dry. He has nothing. He cannot use his mech. He cannot even quill spray, and his warp pass stacks are now completely wearing off. He's got to go back to base. This bristleback, even his damage, he's hitting like kittens. He's got 20 damage when they put in Feeble on him. He can't even do anything about it.
I mean, this game is, for all intents and purposes, over, but you're pretty much looking for that lucky shackle onto two extremely important heroes. Mushi tried to go for it last time, didn't connect, and the sad thing is if they don't get that, they cannot fight. They have to rely on a shackle. Where before it's kind of like, not necessarily luxury, but you just throw it out there like a pudge hook or something. If you get it, great. If not, well, we wait till the next one. But this is like they have to get it no matter what. They cannot fight without it, and I don't even know if they can fight with it, just because they're so tanky now inside of Alliance.
Yep. And in fact, they still have an Aegis to the Immortal, so even if you kill off the SF, he's just going to come back to life again and do it all over again.
Yep.
And his damage output is just ridiculous too. Like, the survivor ability, you got 22 armor on an SF who's got 2k life, and he's doing the big charge up his sleeve. Shackle, it latches, so they do manage to hold Pycat, but then Glimmer Cape protects him a little bit more, and they jump in. Load up, perfect crush. They actually get the Lotus Orb over on Mushi, but it doesn't keep him alive for long. That's going to be 1, 2, 3. The buyback comes out from Lina, making 4 death. The extra buybacks, it's a nice touch from Ohio, grouping up Alliance and Pycat. Not a healthy man, backing up. He's already hit by the Sprite, so he should go down here. That was guaranteed anyway, and they protect KYXY. Lotus Orb again, but Loda jumping in deep. They find Phoenix. He backs up to avoids the Light Strike Array, and man, Pycat. A triple kill for him. KYXY is back again, but the Necro unit is GG. Fnatic will be knocked into the bronze match, and Alliance will play for gold here at X Games for the JoinDOTA MLG Pro League Season 2 Finals. Terrific series for Alliance. They definitely stumbled on game number 2, but they hit back very strong in game 3.
I think it was just like at least for this patch and this event, it was like a cookie cutter draft from them, and they just played it really well. All their lanes went well. They started out with this kind of weird, I know you could say it both ways. You could say it was a nice draft from Alliance, but also kind of weird laning setup at the very beginning from Fnatic. Like this